Hi, I'm HannahFlemingHill. I'm a digital missioner and online content strategist, and welcome to the Fuelcast. If you're anything like me, you quite like using your phone, and especially over this last year, you're able to stay connected with friends, family and loved ones. You can learn new things, send funny memes to your friends and video chat with your parents. It's an incredible tool and just in the palm of my hand. In the Bible, there's the quote that says, "The love of money is the root of all evil." And I think digital's a bit like that. It's not the item itself that's the bad thing. Quite the contrary. God's blessed so many people in the Bible and even into this day and age with wealth and prosperity for them to do amazing work in His name. Digital's just like that. It in itself is a neutral item. It's neither good nor bad. Unfortunately, there are a lot of negatives to online. Trolling, bullying, various complex mental health issues that it can cause. But also, there's so much good that can come from it. Could you imagine, even 15 years ago, if we'd have had the pandemic, how many people, isolated and lonely, would have gone without any contact? Kids wouldn't have been able to learn from home, and families would have been disconnected for months and months. Digital has allowed us to connect with families we couldn't physically see. It's kept the education of children going. We can work from home and remotely. And we've been able to share amazing projects that have gone on, community startups, people like Captain Tom, Marcus Rashford and the Clap for the NHS. How much would we have not known of those things if we hadn't have had online? In Matthew 28, Jesus sends the disciples out on the Great Commission, but it's a message for us even today, probably even more appropriately for today. Just because we aren't going out into the world to visit friends, family, work, go on holiday, doesn't mean that we can't go out into the world. And maybe that world is online. But we should be using it to share the gospel, share God's love, connect with people, and grow the kingdom. With most church buildings being shut during lockdown, they've moved the church online. Sunday services have been live streamed or pre-recorded on Facebook and YouTube. WhatsApp groups have been set up, and new ways of fellowship have been explored throughout this time. Whilst the buildings might be starting to open up again, I really hope we'll see hybrid churches being established, new ways that church, being the body of Christ, are being explored, that it is in person, in the building, but it's also online. Whilst I hope that church organisations will maintain and actively pursue an online presence, we as individuals, as Christians, have a huge responsibility to be Christ-like in our presence, being authentic, honest, loving with the things that we post. We shouldn't be trolling, writing hurtful comments, or slagging off someone that you see online. As Christians, we need to be purveyors of love and grace to those that we connect with. Because at the other end of the screen is an individual, is someone who can equally hurt, equally feels as vulnerable. And to be honest, they might not know Jesus. And what a fantastic opportunity to be able to show Christ's love that they may have never experienced before. How outrageous is it that Christians on Twitter have such a bad reputation? We shouldn't be tearing each other down, we should be lifting each other up. And if those who aren't Christians see that it's the Christian world that are arguing against each other, how likely are they going to want to engage with us? Now, I'm a digital missioner, and I like the title because it's a little bit unusual, but I think anyone and everyone should call themselves a digital missioner. Missionaries in the past, and still to this day, have to pack their bags, go abroad and build orphanages or schools. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's an incredible calling if that's what God's called you to do. But as digital missioners, we can use our phones to connect with people, to share the gospel. And it doesn't have to be doing a service or doing some big video. It could just be daily asking, how can I pray for you? Here's a Bible verse. Here's some encouragement. Seeing a post that someone puts up and liking it and saying, I really feel God in this. I hope you're doing well. And it's not just for me to do this, it's for everyone to do this. Everyone should be a digital missioner because we're called to go out into the nations and make disciples. And online is one of those nations. It's the 5th corner of the world. It's the new space to connect with people, to share God's love and grow the kingdom for His glory. And it might be scary, and to be honest, I know it can be at times, to put yourself out there in new ways. As Christians, we're called to be authentic, and that means not hiding our faith and our Christian beliefs online. Post stuff so people know that you believe in Jesus, know that He died for you and that you are a follower of Christ. Share stories of how God's changed your life, given you peace, given you encouragement, offered you a place of comfort. Jesus didn't wait until a Sunday or to find a synagogue to preach in. He went onto the streets, he went on the mountainside in boats. He preached to thousands of people and a handful of people. And he didn't do it in some formal, organized way. He shared meals with them. He was with them where they were. And if people are online, we need to be online. We need to be salt and light in a world that maybe doesn't have the best at times. So have a think. What's something that you could share online? Do you have a story? Do you have an offering of something of encouragement or a blessing to someone that they might find valuable? What platforms can you use to connect with your audiences? You might have quite a few thousand followers, you might have only a handful, but that doesn't matter. It's about your authenticity and love of Christ showing through that. So imagine Jesus is right next to you now saying, what can you share? Go and make disciples. So why don't we do that?